Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Good morning to most of you that will watch the video now, and also greetings to those that may watch it later. On today's video that I'm about to do is concerning the problems going on between Russia and Ukraine. Most of you watch the show, I call it show, that Western world we are playing before the international community. Most of the world communities knows that the entire European nations are NATO countries. All of them are NATO countries. Even though they never made it public, countries like Austria and other like Switzerland, other petty countries that claim that they are neutral countries, they are not part of NATO. Yeah, they are European nations, but they are neutral. It's just piece of joke. All the whole European nations are NATO members. Declared members and undeclared members. Why am I saying this? Because I was watching the show that was, it may be a distraction. I call it a distraction show. That NATO and the European Union are going into an agreement. I love the West because they always think, those in power in Western nations think that the people they are ruling over are stupid, or people around international communities are less human, that has no maybe brain, maybe water is inside their head. They can't think for themselves. They will wait until Western media will show them how to think, how things is, and they should follow the path without asking questions. And Ursula von der Leyen, the European Union, I think, president, I don't know her position, but up there, unelected, that will sanction, they may sanction elected governments, telling you maybe you are going against one thing or the other. But on their own, international laws and norms are not made for them. If they will wake up, come to the television, face the camera, yeah, and tell the whole world that they are looking for loopholes in their laws that will give them the power to pocket Russian money that was banked in their countries. Yes. How do you think that the West will feel if Africans will tell them that because your companies in Africa are not even paying any dime in tax, we are going to freeze and seize everything that belongs to those companies? They will freak out. And they will call for NATO to start bombing the entire Africa. Yes. But they are doing it with Russia. And the European Union are coming out to tell us they are signing an agreement with NATO just to divert your brain from what is happening in Ukraine, in Solidar, and also that may also occur in Bakhmut. There is question that I do ask on Twitter, You will see the way they say that we are going to send Abraham tank to Ukraine. Maybe not because it may wipe the Russians. Better let's send the Leopard tank from Germany. It's the new wonder weapon that we need to send to Kiev. And France said, we are going to send in our light armor vehicles to Ukraine. And Britain said, Challenger may be suitable for Ukraine because it's wonder weapons that you need to wipe the Russians. My question to Ukrainians and Ukraine politicians, I'm not against you. Any country that somebody attacked has every right to defend itself. But those people that blocked you from negotiating before blood start floating, that promise you heaven on planet Earth, those that help to concur, to prepare these cookies that Russia and Ukrainians are eating now, promise Ukrainians how delicious these cookies got to be after preparing it. But now, both Ukraine and Russians are start testing the cookies. But Russians are more resilient in testing a lot of things. But those that made hell of promises to Ukraine, those that came to block the negotiation with Russia, those that told Ukraine that you got to fight the war for NATO, you want to join NATO, you got to prove yourself before the Russians, The Russians are bullying you. They are telling us we shouldn't allow you to join us. And for you to join us, you have to challenge them. You have to prove to NATO that you have the capability to defend NATO by defending us in your own territory, not allowing Russians to trespass. Is that not wonderful? They motivated Ukraine to push or poke Russians to declare war on them. They refused negotiation. The West lied and manipulated all the agreements they signed with Russia. Now, Ukrainians are dying in battlefield. The thing that pains me the worst is that they are not giving Ukraine all that Ukraine needs to defend themselves. Is that not hypocrite? And Ukrainians are still fighting with wholeheartedly to defend their territory and also defend NATO. But the NATO countries that claim to be supporting Ukraine to the last man, if you ask me as a person, I may tell you that the West and Russia, seal a secret agreement to reduce the population of Ukrainian military and to take away most of the nuclear power plants that produce a lot of waste that Ukraine may use to build a dirty nuclear bombs. Because the thing that made me to go towards this area is this. The West has been building modern weapons, that can withstand Russia with the zeal of Ukrainians, the way they are fighting. Had it been they receive what they want, Russia will not even encroach up to 1 kilometer of their territories. Yes, I'm telling you this. But these guys are giving Ukrainians the remnants of Second World War equipment. 20, 30 years old equipments. And when they see that Ukrainians are losing a lot, losing lives, not losing territory, losing lives, human beings, well-trained soldiers, and military personnel, high rankies, they will start running after the media. People are dying in war front. And the West are after camera, as I'm standing here now. You know, we stand by Ukraine. Russians underestimated this war. This thing may escalate to a level. We may send Abraham to, we know, we may send Reaper drone, not Reaper drone, mistake of my mouth. We may send, what is that name? Ursula. Ursula, what is the name? Ursula we now said, we will send Leopard to Ukraine. Handing out, giving Ukraine military equipment as if you are begging for food. And for you to get this food, you need to be a good person. You need to show that you are nice. You need to always smile to me so that I will give you a little. And you will go at the war front, Russian will grant it, grant their personnel, and you start running back and start begging for more. If I were Ukraine, I would make peace with Russia. For you to know that all that is blue, all that shines are not gold. Most of them are plated. You should understand there is a hidden agenda against Ukraine. There is a hidden agenda. I am not seeing the secret discussions, but I'm a believer that says, by their fruit we shall know them. Following the system that this war is going, I believe that NATO has a very wicked agenda against Ukraine, not against Russia. Because Russians are not fighting Ukraine to rush to secure territories. Recall the first agenda. Sorry, I ate something pepper, so it keeps on coming up. So Russia says, we are going to demilitarize Ukraine. How do you demilitarize a country? If you read the history of Russian Ottoman Empire war on Romania, you will be able to know the test of demilitarization of a country. Ottoman Empire was very powerful by then, conquering territories, even nearly conquered the entire Europe. Yes. But they entered Romania and Russia joined that fight. If you read that history, it says that Russians secured a small territory. They pushed the Ottomans back and took some territories, just little territory. And that little territory will activate every general. This place is very small. If we push very hard, we got to regain that territory. Very strategic wickedness by the Russians. Not meant good for their opponents. And that is what they are doing to Ukraine. You will be fighting to secure that little kilometer, and they will grant you. They call it grander. They will grant all your equipment, all your soldiers, everything in your position will be granted in that small territory. I read all this history. I start fearing Russia. Russians may not be powerful in people's eyes like United States use Hollywood, Nollywood to portray their position in international military arena. But there is military strategy that I believe only Russians possess. Look at what they're doing to Ukrainians. Russians are not securing territories. Russians are grounding Ukrainians. Look at Solidar. Look at how many souls that lies like bed that fall on the floor. Everywhere. Armor tankers, equipment teared apart. Yes. Now I understand why America used Ukraine to calm the burning heart of the Russians. Had it been Europeans started this war, oh my God, it's got to be hell on planet. Because there are believed, there are things they have never dropped on Ukraine. I saw 500, I think 500 kilo bombs, 500,000 kilo bombs or whatever, that they dropped in Ukraine that form a mushroom like a nuclear bomb. And I also saw a picture of 1,005 of that same bomb lying somewhere and waiting for others. For me, Ukraine, you will not win this war. But you have the heart and spirit to win a war. Ukraine, I respect you. I really respect you for daring to challenge the bear. You did, but it will cost you something. You will lose your territories. To solidify their blood that they wasted. Russians are fighting Ukraine as a brother, but all the same, dismantling everything that NATO and West has invested in them. Grounding all way-trained soldiers of Ukraine. Grounding the whole equipment that Ukraine possesses, even though equipment they received from the Soviet is almost finished. Yes, and it's not normal. The West are using Ukraine to play politics. It's very, very bad. You don't use people that way. That's far back, not today. It's not funny that people, souls, brothers, sisters, people's husband will never come back again. Even them not knowing if they are in prison or death. Because Ukrainian soldiers are so wicked, they are not even taking the identities of those killed in battlefield. At least hand it over or write their names among the fallen soldiers so that their families will cry and remember that he will no longer come back. Not hoping he may be in Russian prison, knowing quite well he's a wasted soldier. Why should Ukraine do such a thing to their people? I know, patriotic. Somebody may take your territory during war, but in the time of peace, you may negotiate that thing back to your territory with good faith. Everything must not be solved via bullet, Ukraine. I know how Putin thinks. I know how he reasons. He withdrew from Kiev after you made promises, which you know if it's America, they will never ever step an inch. They will seize that capital, and you can't do shit about it. But they withdraw, and you withdraw from the agreement. Look at what you brought to your people. Yeah. Russia may leash out everything to have to secure Donbass and Lugansk and everything and every territory. But it's not what they want. They want to pull you naked. They want everything that NATO places in you to be dismantled. So that tomorrow, in the next 50, 70, 80, 100 years, you can't even declare war to an ant. That's what they want to achieve. And they're achieving it due to the bitterness in you. America can never give you what you are looking for. Europe are looking for what you are looking for, but they are showing you mirror. You are seeing yourself, and they are showing you painted sepulcher. Do you know what is painted sepulcher? Burial ground that was decorated, painted, and everything. Why something that is underground is rotty and stinky? That is what Europe are. They always portray good things, show you things, but in them, do you know that European people practice refined communist? But they will not tell you that. Communism, go and look the system of communism. Not socialism, I mean communist system of government. You will see it here. Everything belongs to government, even though your child belongs to government. You have no right to anything, even though you are safe. Free movement. Who give you free movement? It's here. Freedom of speech. Yes, written in papers and they publish it. In Europe, we have freedom of speech. But let me remind you, there is freedom of speech in Europe written in big capital letter. Under it, there is something written in small letter that says, after saying your mind, that you're afraid of, after utilizing that freedom of speech to say what you like, under it, little typing says, nobody promise you if you are going to be free after opening your mouth. Is it not wonderful? That is Europe for us. You know, if you come to Europe, you are free. Free of what? You are no free. Here is one leg is in prison, one leg is outside. Here in Europe, you are guilty of every crime until you prove yourself innocent. Here in Europe, if you are running a company, you pay tax before you make one dime. Is it not wonderful? That is capitalism. They will show the Ukrainians a lot of fake lives. I see a lot of laws that was amended only for Ukrainians, so that if they come, they will see that it's as if the whole windows, everything is open in Europe, life is wow. No, those laws are made only for Ukrainians. And I believe, I asked someone today, I said, what do you think if the war in Ukraine ends, will they be keep on getting all these things that they just opened for them? And the person laughed and said, it's just to motivate them to continue killing themselves. The best way to fight a superpower or superpowers, the best way to fight them is to bring two of them to fight each other. In Europe, apart of Turkey, the strongest army in Europe is Russia and Ukraine. Ukrainians are very, very stupid. Very stupid. Look at them. They have destroyed themselves. And who is now happy? Some people, Poland, that is afraid of Ukraine, is now going to become the next tiger around Ukraine. And they would never allow Ukraine to recover. I am telling you this. If they will not jump in to take the nearby cities that near their borders, they are claiming that is their own territory before, it may happen. The strongest military in Europe, apart of Turkey, is Ukraine and Russia. No other military has the power to challenge them in the entire Europe. Even though America will fight and run away, they can't win. If these two people come together, want to rule Europe, but they were so silly that they allow Biden to penetrate Ukraine with CIA and everything. Ukraine now, sorry, it's now history. The whole world, the whole Western world knows that Ukraine is history. And America did this thing on behalf of Poland. Yes. This war going on today means nothing to US. Somebody lobbied for it. Somebody walked behind the scene for it. And that person is Polish. And they have achieved all their aims. Now is to watch the great dragon to fall like an animal, and they will trample on it. Sorry. That's all I have to say. So many people watch their videos, they say that the reason why Russians are not conquering territories, the Russians are not there to conquer territories. Go and read their history of war. They are too strategic, too powerful and strategic. How many souls have Ukraine lost? Ukrainians are losing hundreds of thousands of soldiers per day. Thousands of equipment per day. How many of their women are giving children? If it continues, Ukraine's got to borrow men, maybe from Turkey or other country, to pregnant their ladies. Yes, it do happen. And it may happen. So thank you very much for jumping in to stay up to this level. I have, YouTube have activated a membership for me. You may also look around. You will see the join button. You may subscribe because with time, I will be doing videos that will be available only to the members. Yeah. And I'll be analyzing a lot of videos. I will also do a lot. I will also use this platform to advise most of our people back home, I mean, Nigeria and Africa, on how to start various little businesses. Business, they may start with 5,000 naira. I'm a Nigerian. I know more about Nigerian business. You may start with 5,000 naira. Business, you may start with 15,000 naira. And maybe in before 2, 3 months, you will be counting up to 100,000 of your own, you know. Start something with nothing. Nigeria is over 200 million people. All of them are consuming. Few are producing. Few, handful of them. So if you may join my platform and also follow those things and ask questions, there are a lot of things. If you are into blogging, there are also a lot of things that I will show you that may help you to. Normally, I'm not all that active again like before, but I'm trying to come back now that YouTube have given me the opportunity to raise more cash. So be among the first people that will join the membership. I have via countries. I have Egypt membership. I have, I think, Cairo. I have Kenya, I believe so. And I have Lagos, Nigeria. So choose your own wisely. I think the largest one is Lagos, Nigeria. So that's the largest city in Africa, I believe so. So, yeah, that's all. Thank you very much. Remain blessed. If you have not subscribed, try to subscribe to the channel. And if you have subscribed, always check your subscriptions because at times they get people unsubscribed. Thank you very much and good night. Bye-bye.